Well, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. When I hopped on the Pokemon TCGO the other day, I had no idea when the rotation was gonna happen. I knew it would happen sometime in September, but I wasn't sure when. So I just hopped on for some games of Pokemon, playing my Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, and Zacian V deck, my Greninja and Zoroark, and I saw this. The annual standard format rotation is here. I figured this meant in a couple days. Then I went to the Versus ladder and saw that only 2 of my decks were legal for this standard format. We're going to need to do something about that. So, for my main deck that I'm going to be playing for this next season, I'm very interested in the Turbo Zacian build. So that's the deck we're going to be breaking down for you guys today. So what Turbo Zacian does is it's another way to play Zacian after this rotation. Besides Inteleon, I know a lot of people are going for the Inteleon, but Turbo Zacian is a great way to go too. Basically, it just takes your standard Zacian deck that's just all metal Pokemon, no other types in there, and no Dedenne GX, no Crobat V, because those are some liabilities on the bench. It uses Galarian Berserker and Rusted Sword to boost your damage like crazy, and get out a ton of damage to knock out some of those big Pokemon VMAX that are very popular in the format right now. So let's go ahead and get into the deck, and then we'll go ahead and hop into some matches. Okay, so if you've been watching my channel for a while, you may notice that this is very similar to the deck I showed you guys in the deck breakdown of the post-rotation Zacian, and it is. It's a very similar deck, but I have made several adjustments, some of them thanks to your guys' comments, like Rusted Sword. I actually never thought about including this card until somebody said something, and I was like, oh yeah, Rusted Sword, that makes total sense. So I gotta give a shout out to some of you guys who have commented on that video for giving me some tips and tricks. Make sure you do that with this video as well, and any others you watch on my channel. I love seeing some comments from you guys. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Pokemon. We've got our big boy main attacker here, Zacian V, 220 HP, Intrepid Sword, Brave Blade. You guys are probably very familiar with it. Intrepid Sword can accelerate energy and draw you some cards, and Brave Blade dishes out a ton of damage already with 230. But if we get out all of these Berserker and Rusted Sword, we can boost that damage. Then we have 2 copies of Zacian V here. So this is a pretty big card for this new format, Dauntless Shield, preventing all damage done to it by your opponent's Pokemon VMAX. Obviously, since there's no Tag Team GX or regular GX in the format, it's all up to the Vs and VMAXs to dish out the damage big time. So Zacian V in here can really put a wrench in your opponent's plans with its Dauntless Shield ability. We have 2 copies of Ego Slash. Usually these will get discarded depending on what deck I'm playing against. If I'm playing against something like Decidueye or Obsidian, this is a great card to have. Anything else that prevents damage from the Pokemon I want to attack with. So Sonic Edge 130 isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. If you want to, you could probably cut this down to 2 copies if you want, but I think 2 also works. Then we have a 4/4 line of Galarian Meowth and Berserker. So this is a pretty big part of the deck. As you can see, Steely Spirit boosting that damage. So your main goal for this deck is to get some Zacian and a whole bunch of Berserker out onto the bench. Boost your damage, dish out a ton, and you can easily find it with Galarian Meowth's Evolution Roar ability. If you wanted to make that a little easier on yourself, you could probably include some Evolution Incense in these trainer cards if you want to find those Berserkers a little easier without having to discard cards. Now moving on to the trainers, no stadium cards in here. That's something I might change in the future, but with Intrepid Sword and Dauntless Shield, Path to the Peak isn't too great, could probably mess us up with these abilities that we really want to be activating almost every turn. So no Path to the Peak in here, but we do have some supporter cards. We have 4 Professor's Research, 4 Marnie, and 4 Boss's Orders. So these are all very standard supporters that you're going to see in almost every deck, and since we don't run Crobat or Dedenne in here, we have Professor's Research and Marnie to draw us some cards. Moving on to the item cards, apart from tools, we only have 4 different ones. We have 4 copies of Crushing Hammer, we have 4 copies of Metal Saucer, 4 copies of Quick Ball, and 4 copies of Switch. So Crushing Hammer, Another aggressive card, this kind of theme of this deck is aggressive. So we have 4 Crushing Hammer to discard the opponent's energy. We have Metal Saucer to retrieve some of that metal energy that may go to the discard pile, maybe being discarded by Professor's Research, Evolution Roar, or our next card, Quick Ball. Great for finding those basic Pokemon. We need that to find Zacian and Meowth. Switch, always essential in any deck to be switching out your Pokemon. If you wanted to, you could maybe replace these Cape of Toughness with some Air Balloon to give you some better switching effects. Personally, I really like this Cape of Toughness in here. It permits your Zacian to not be a one-shot from other Zacian V that can one-shot it with Brave Blade. So I feel like it's good to have Cape of Toughness in there. And then we have the 2 Cape of Toughness, like I just mentioned, adds 50 HP. And then we have 2 copies of Rusted Sword. So this is pretty awesome. The attacks of the Zacian V discards attach you to 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So I can boost a whole lot of damage in addition to these Berserker. Great card to have in here. And we have 12 copies of Metal Energy. If you wanted to, you could replace 4 of these with Cody Metal Energy. But I'm not sure if Cody Metal Energy can be attached with Metal Saucer or this Zacian V's Intrepid Sword. So it's up to you if you want to include those. Alright, so that's it for the deck breakdown. Now let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. So yep, as you can see here, my 2 decks that are legal for standard format. Let's go ahead and hop into a match with this post-rotation Zacian. Just probably rename it Turbo Zacian now that's after the rotation. Fighting deck, Charizard Coin, probably Urshifu VMAX, that's my guess. I think this new format is going to be heavily dominated by Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike. It's definitely a very powerful card that's going to stay strong after the rotation. The only threat to its throne is Calyrex VMAX, so Shadow Rider. Oh, and there's a Mulligan. Alright. We have a decent amount of basic Pokemon in here, so I'm kind of surprised that we got a Mulligan. Oh well. We'll see if we can get a better hand. If I did have a Pokemon in here, I wouldn't be too crazy about it. I like to have a supporter in my hand. Alright, putting out his active Pokemon. Does he have something on the bench? I know he has some in his hand, but I don't know if he's going to put it down. Hurry up, man. I want to get my new hand. So there's that. We have Zacian. I think I'm going to put up Zamazenta in the active. And we'll start Zacian on the bench. And don't have a draw supporter, but we do have Intrepid Sword that can draw some cards. Alright, Roly Coly. See what goes on with this deck. Alright, I think it's just attached to Zacian and Intrepid Sword. Not much going on. There's a Professor's Research. Would like a Marnie though, because I don't want to throw away these 2 Berserker. So we will Crushing Hammer. It's a no. I think I'm just gonna Intrepid Sword. Because still, like I said, don't want to throw away those Berserker. Alright, there's another Zacian. Let's pop him onto the bench. As well as Meowth. And I don't think we need to do Ego Slash. Put Cape of Toughness on there. And going to switch into that Zacian. Research. And we got a couple Metal Energy, that's great. And then I'm gonna pop these Meowth onto the bench. Very cool. And then we will... What's Intrepid Sword on the Zacian? Yeah. Alright, no energy cards. Got some other cool stuff though, some Marnies and Quick Balls. We'll see. Alright, we got a Crushing Hammer here. Let's throw that down. It is a heads. Discard from the Ninetales. And then definitely want to throw this metal onto there. Let's start doing some Evolution Roars. Gonna throw away those 2 Quick Ball. To find a Berserker. Looks like there's only 2 in our deck. There's that. We will find him. Put him onto Meowth. And then I'm gonna do another Evolution Roar. This is where the deck really gets rolling. By setting up these Berserker. It's pretty fun. Kind of like the Inteleon engine with shady dealings. Very cool. So now we'll throw it onto Meowth there. And we'll do a Marnie. He's got kind of a big hand, so this will be nice. Found a Metal Saucer, did not find a switch. That may be a problem. I'm gonna put Cape Defense on there. And we will Intrepid Sword on here. Alright, found a couple bosses' orders. Rusted Sword. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Bring up Zacian. Yeah, and this Ninetales is actually really mean, so I want to get rid of that immediately. I'm gonna Quick Ball the research. See if that was the right choice. I'm not sure. I just wanted to set our Zacian down on the bench. Tomato Saucer and Rusted Sword and Brave Blade. Boom. Damage increase 270. Crushing Hammer and a Metallurgy. Alrighty. We've still got some bosses' orders in hand, which is great. Okay. So we got a switch, but don't think I'm gonna do that. Well, except I kind of might need to. I just realized that. Yeah, so I can't Brave Blade. Okay. This is not good. I need another switch. Okay. Gonna bring up Meowth here. We shall Crushing Hammer. Although these don't really do much. The Crushing Hammers. You got an energy on there. Okay. So hopefully he takes a knockout on the Meowth, and then we can bring up some Zacians. There's a switch though. That's good. I'm going to boss up Zapdos, or do I want to knock out? Yeah, I want to boss up Zapdos. Crushing Hammer. And then bring up this Zacian. And we shall Brave Blade. See how much damage this does? 300. That was fun. I like doing lots and lots of damage. Very cool. It's Carcoal. With the potential to do some big damage with Heat Crash. 60. Whoa. Rhyperior's out, as well as Cramorant. I think we've got him. Maybe not though. So he'll be in a nope, we have him switch and boss. Alright. And there it is, Brave Blade for the knockout on Cramorant. 270 damage. Alrighty, victory. Let's see what we get from this. It is a mystery box, 25 Pokecoins. Always love to see some more Pokecoins. And we got a little farther up on the versus ladder. Got some uncommon chests that probably have a whole bunch of junk in them, but very cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's deck breakdown and gameplay of the Turbo Zacian V build with Go Area Berserker and Rusted Sword to boost Zacian V's Brave Blade damage. If you enjoyed, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment, are there any changes you would make to the deck, or do you think it's good just how it is? And give me a click on that subscribe button. It helps me out so much, and I'd love to see some more subscribers on the channel. Well, that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, trainers.